Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring Lincoln Wheat Penny coins, classic American cents known for their iconic wheat design on the back. These coins were made decades ago, and while many are still easy to find, some are rare and highly sought after by collectors. Let's take a look at what makes these old pennies special and which ones might be hiding serious value. The 1940 for Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is one of the most recognized coins from the mid-20th century United States coinage. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark during that period, this coin is part of the long-standing Lincoln cent series that began in 1909. The 1940 for issue holds a particular historical importance due to the time in which it was produced and the circumstances surrounding its composition and widespread use. The coin features the classic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. This portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner and has been a lasting feature of the United States 1-cent coin since its introduction. The design was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and continues to be celebrated for its simple dignity and strong visual presence. Lincoln is shown in profile facing right, with the inscriptions indicating the date and the phrase "In God We Trust" above his head and "Liberty" to his left. On the reverse side, the wheat penny design includes two stylized wheat stalks bordering the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design element symbolizes agricultural strength and was a standard feature of Lincoln cents from 1909 through 1958. The phrase "E pluribus unum" appears along the upper rim of the reverse side, emphasizing unity among the states. The wheat ears design was eventually replaced in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial, but the earlier version continues to be popular among collectors. The 1940 for Lincoln Wheat Penny is particularly notable for its composition. During World War II, copper was a critical material for military production, and in 1943, the United States Mint temporarily struck pennies in steel coated with zinc. However, this decision was short-lived due to widespread complaints about the coins rusting and being confused with dimes. As a result, in 1940, for the mint returned to a copper-based composition but used recycled shell casings from the war effort. This gave the 1940 for penny a unique backstory tied directly to the wartime experience of the United States. This coin in question shows visible scratches and signs of wear indicating it has been in circulation for a significant period. Scratches are common on coins that have seen regular use, and while they reduce the overall aesthetic and potential value, they also tell a story of long-term utility and the passage of time. A circulated coin with such marks has likely traveled through countless hands and been part of many transactions across the country. It could have been used in stores, schools, or homes and has silently witnessed daily life during and after a pivotal time in American history. The 1944 Lincoln Penny was produced in extremely high numbers, with over 1 billion coins struck that year across all mints. The Philadelphia Mint alone produced hundreds of millions, which makes this coin common in terms of availability. However, collectors still value examples that are in better condition or those that retain an original reddish hue from the copper. Even coins with scratches or surface marks are kept as part of collections due to their historical relevance and the interest they generate as wartime relics. From a collector's perspective, a coin with scratches like this one would be classified as circulated and likely fall into a lower grade on a professional scale. Yet it can still hold value, particularly to those who focus on assembling complete date sets or those who appreciate coins for their story rather than for their perfection. Coins with visible imperfections offer a more human connection to the past and serve as tangible links to previous generations. The metal composition of this penny adds to its interest. It is made primarily of copper with a small percentage of tin and zinc. The use of recycled shell casing material adds a layer of symbolism. The war effort and domestic life were closely intertwined during the 1940s. Even everyday items like coins were repurposed and adjusted to meet the needs of a nation at war. This coin is not just a piece of money, it is a piece of American resilience and adaptation. Next up we have the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny in circulated condition stands out as a fascinating piece in American numismatic history. This particular coin, minted at the Denver Mint during a pivotal time in world events, offers both historical significance and a strong sense of nostalgia. Collectors and history enthusiasts alike are drawn to coins from this era not only because of their tangible connection to the past, but also due to the potential hidden value they may carry. While many examples of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny are found in circulated condition and may show signs of where some coins from this year and mint mark have fetched extremely high values at auctions and private sales, especially when they exhibit unusual traits or rare errors. In some cases, collectors and investors believe these coins could be worth as much as $200,000 or more depending on their specific characteristics. The 1944 penny continues a classic design, introduced in 1909, which features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this iconic portrait honors one of America's most beloved presidents and has become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. The obverse also includes the date and the D-Mint mark, which identifies the coin as having been produced at the Denver Mint. The reverse features two stylized wheat ears that flank the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the Latin motto that speaks to unity among the states. Together, these design elements create a coin that not only serves as currency, but also as a piece of national art and a symbol of shared values. What makes the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny especially interesting to collectors is the context in which it was produced. The year 1944 was deep into the Second World War, and many materials used in coin production were being diverted for wartime efforts. Just the year before, in 1943, pennies had been struck using zinc-coated steel instead of copper to conserve resources. In 1944, however, the mint returned to using primarily copper and recycled materials like shell casings from the battlefield for coinage. This makes the 1944 pennies historically unique and adds emotional value as well as physical worth. Holding such a coin can be like holding a fragment of wartime history, one that represents the resilience and unity of the American people during challenging times. Though more than 400 million of the 1944 pennies were minted, not all of them are the same. Collectors search for rare varieties and errors, such as double-dyed obverses or off-center strikes, which can elevate the value of a coin significantly. In rare instances, a few 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck on steel plankets left over from the previous year. These rare errors are extremely valuable and have been known to sell for prices far above typical circulated values. It is these possibilities that inspire collectors to take a closer look at every penny they come across, hoping they might have discovered a rare and valuable example hiding in plain sight. Even without a rare error, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny remains popular among collectors because of its enduring charm and historical importance. Circulated coins in good condition are often the subject of coin collecting videos and social media posts where hobbyists share their finds and explore their potential value. The thought that a single penny could be worth as much as $200,000 captures the imagination and drives interest in coin hunting and collecting. These stories and videos create excitement and a sense of possibility, especially when viewers are encouraged to search their own change jars for hidden gems. In addition to its historical context and collectible status, the 1944 penny also carries emotional and educational value. For many families, coin collecting becomes a shared activity passed down from one generation to the next. Children learn about history, geography, and economics while examining coins and trying to build a complete set. The 1944 penny often becomes one of the most memorable coins in a collection because of its wartime story and the sense of connection it brings to the past. It is more than a coin, it is a story, a lesson, and a mystery all rolled into one small copper disc. When properly preserved, even circulated examples of this coin can maintain sharp details and eye appeal that make them desirable for display. Coin Grading services can help determine a coin's condition and provide certification, which may increase its value. In some cases, coins that have retained strong original color or luster despite being circulated may be considered above average and command higher prices in the marketplace. Those lucky enough to own a particularly well-preserved 1940 for D penny might discover that its worth is much higher than initially believed. The possibility of owning a coin worth $200,000 is an idea that sparks curiosity and excitement. Whether someone finds such a coin in a collection inherited from a relative or in a batch of coins from a local estate sale, the dream of discovering a hidden treasure is part of what keeps the hobby alive. For many viewers, online content focused on rare and valuable coins like the 1940 for D penny is endlessly interesting. These videos blend storytelling with history and discovery, offering a unique blend of education and entertainment. Next up we have the 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a coin that carries historical and numismatic interest. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark, this coin is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series that began in 1909. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it remains one of the most collected and studied coins in American history. The 1948 issue reflects the post-war era when the United States was recovering from World War II and entering a period of economic growth and social change. On the obverse side of the coin is the profile of President Lincoln facing right. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and is notable for being the first United States coin to feature a real person's image instead of a symbolic representation of liberty. The word liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's portrait, and the phrase "In God We Trust" is written above. The date 1948 appears to the right of Lincoln's image. The design has endured with only minor changes through the decades, and it remains an enduring tribute to the 16th President of the United States. The reverse side of the coin features the classic wheat ears design that was in use from 1909 through 1958. The words 1 cent and United States of America are prominently displayed in the center, with a pair of stylized wheat stalks curving along the edges. Above this is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many, one. This reverse design reflects the agricultural roots and strength of the United States during the early to mid-20th century and is a favorite among collectors for its simplicity and symbolism. The particular 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny described here shows signs of a red shade and visible rust. The red coloration is often sought after in copper coins, especially if it is close to the original color seen when the coin was first minted. This coloration indicates that some of the original mint luster has been preserved. However, the presence of rust suggests exposure to moisture or corrosive environments at some point during its lifetime. Rust or corrosion on a copper coin usually appears as dark patches or pitted areas and can affect both the aesthetic and value of the coin. Despite the presence of rust, the red shading still indicates that some parts of the coin retain a more original appearance. Collectors often describe copper coins based on the amount of original red color that remains, using terms like red, brown, and brown. A coin with a red shade is considered more desirable than one that has fully turned brown due to oxidation. However, rust is not typical on copper and may indicate environmental damage, which could lower the coin's grade in a professional assessment. In terms of mintage, the Philadelphia Mint produced a large quantity of 1948 Lincoln Wheat Pennies, making them common in circulation and among coin collections. However, coins in higher grades with minimal wear and full original color are more valuable. This specific coin, having both red tone and rust damage, suggests it has been circulated and exposed to elements over time. Its condition tells a story of its journey through decades of use, possibly passing through countless hands and transactions. For collectors, condition is a key factor in determining a coin's value. Professional grading considers luster, detail, strike, and preservation. A coin with rust would likely be placed in a lower grade due to the surface issues. However, for many collectors, especially those building a date collection, the historical context and completeness of the collection are more important than pristine condition. This coin, while not perfect, serves as a tangible link to post-war America and the daily lives of people in the late 1940s. During 1948, the United States was in a time of significant change. The war was over, the economy was booming, and Americans were adjusting to new roles and opportunities. The Lincoln penny continued to serve as a daily tool for commerce and was often taken for granted despite its rich symbolism and national significance. Coins like this one circulated widely and played a role in everyday life, from purchasing goods to being saved in jars, drawers, and pockets for small savings. Next up, we have the 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny. In circulated condition is a coin that continues to attract interest from coin collectors, historians, and even casual observers. This coin, minted at the Denver Mint, is part of the beloved Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958 and has long held a respected place in American coinage. Although it may appear modest at first glance, the 1937 penny holds layers of significance both in historical context and in the world of numismatics. The excitement surrounding this particular coin is further amplified by stories and claims suggesting that select specimens could be worth as much as $500,000 or more in the right circumstances, especially if the coin possesses unique traits or errors that make it extremely rare and collectible. While typical market values might not reach these heights for all examples, collectors are often intrigued by the potential hidden value that a circulated penny from this era may hold. The obverse of the 1937 Lincoln penny features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design was the first time a U.S. president's image appeared on a regular issue American coin, and its introduction marked a turning point in how coins could be used to commemorate important figures in American history. The simplicity and elegance of Lincoln's image, paired with the motto "In God We Trust" and the word liberty, creates a timeless design that continues to resonate with collectors and Americans at large. The date 1937 and the mint mark for Denver appear on a front, giving the coin both temporal and geographic identity. The reverse side of the coin displays two wheat stalks, which frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. This wheat reverse design symbolizes agricultural abundance and national unity, both important ideals during a time when America was still recovering from the Great Depression. Coins from this period were more than just currency, they were everyday reminders of resilience, industry, and American values. The Denver Mint struck over 50 million of these coins in 1937, so they are not necessarily rare in terms of total quantity. However, the condition of the coin, along with specific varieties, minting errors, or unusual features, can greatly influence its value. Circulated coins like the one in question have typically passed through countless hands over decades. Each scratch, mark, and worn detail tells a story, and although these signs of wear might lower the grade of the coin, they also contribute to its charm and historical significance. For many collectors, owning a circulated piece is like holding a small piece of history, one that has survived world wars, economic shifts, and cultural transformations. In the coin collecting community, there is always a strong interest in identifying rare errors and anomalies. These can include double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, or other deviations from the norm. When such an error is found on a 1937 penny, it can drastically increase its value, sometimes placing it in a higher category of collector interest. It is this possibility that fuels the ongoing treasure hunt among collectors who examine their change and inherited coin jars in the hope of finding a small fortune hidden in plain sight. There are also examples of coins that, despite being circulated, retain exceptional features, such as strong original luster, clean fields, or well-defined details. These coins, while technically used, can sometimes command higher prices than average, especially when certified and graded by a professional coin grading service. The story of someone finding a rare coin like this in a random coin roll or old box continues to inspire others to take up the hobby. It creates a compelling narrative that people love to watch and follow, especially in video content and coin collecting forums. The 1937 D penny's appeal is not limited to its physical features. It also serves as a snapshot of American life in the late 1930s. The Great Depression had taken a toll on the economy, and people were just beginning to see signs of recovery. Coins from this period were used in everyday purchases, and for many Americans represented hope and stability. The fact that a simple copper coin could last for generations and still be found today is a testament to the quality of minting and the care with which many collectors have preserved these treasures. Stories of high-value sales and auctions involving Lincoln Wheat pennies add to the excitement. While not every 1937 D penny is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, some unique specimens have fetched significant sums under the right circumstances. This has led to heightened interest and speculation, with some collectors assigning potential values as high as $400,000 or more to particularly pristine or rare varieties. While such valuations are exceptional rather than typical, they illustrate the potential hidden value within seemingly ordinary coins. Collectors who enjoy showcasing their finds on social media or in video content often focus on coins like the 1937 D penny because of their rich history, classic design, and the possibility that one may have a unique and valuable characteristic. These videos attract large audiences who are drawn in by the drama, the potential of uncovering hidden wealth, and the joy of collecting something tangible that connects to the past. The format of such storytelling lends itself well to engaging content that educates, entertains, and excites viewers from all backgrounds. Next up we have the 1950 to Lincoln Wheat penny is a coin of historical and numismatic interest that reflects the legacy of American coinage during the mid-20th century. Minted at the Denver Mint as indicated by the small letter D below the date on the obverse side, this coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 and continues in various forms to this day. The Wheat penny design was used from 1909 through 1958 and is beloved by collectors for its classic imagery, its link to American history, and its representation of a significant period in United States coin production. The 1950 to D penny in circulated condition holds particular value as a reflection of everyday commerce and the role of coinage in post-war America. The obverse of the 1950 to D penny features the familiar right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This design by Victor David Brenner marked a turning point in American numismatic tradition, as it was the first regular issue coin to feature actual person rather than an allegorical figure. Lincoln's image is surrounded by the word liberty. On the left side, the phrase "In God We Trust" along the upper rim, and the year 1952 to the right. The small D mint mark beneath the year identifies the coin's origin at the Denver Mint, which was one of the three main facilities producing cents during this period alongside Philadelphia and San Francisco. On the reverse side of the coin, the classic wheat ears design is prominently displayed. To stylize stalks of wheat curve along the left and right edges enclosing the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America. Above these words is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, which is a traditional motto of the United States. This simple but elegant design highlights the agricultural roots of the nation and emphasizes unity and strength. The wheat reverse is often admired for its clean lines and symbolic imagery, and it became a staple in American coin collecting after its replacement by the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. The 1950 to D Lincoln Wheat penny had a large mintage, with over 746 million coins struck, making it a common date among wheat cents. Coins from this mintage are often found in circulated condition, having been used in commerce throughout the second half of the 20th century. The example described here is in circulated condition, which means it shows signs of use and wear from being handled in day-to-day transactions. Circulated coins typically have smoothing on the high points of the design, such as Lincoln's cheek. Drawing the wheat ears on the reverse, the surfaces may exhibit minor scratches, dirt, and discoloration as a result of their journey through the hands of countless individuals over decades. Despite being circulated, this coin remains an important historical artifact. It tells the story of an America that was thriving in the post-war era with strong industrial growth, a booming population, and a rapidly changing society. Coins like this one passed from hand to hand in grocery stores, gas stations, schools, and small businesses, reflecting the rhythms of daily life. In many ways, the Lincoln cent was a quiet companion to the economic expansion of the 1950s, serving a practical purpose while also standing as a symbol of the nation's democratic ideals and historical memory. For collectors, a circulated 1950 to penny is not especially rare, but it remains desirable for those building a complete set of Lincoln wheat pennies. Many collectors seek to obtain one coin from each year and mint mark combination, and this coin fills an important spot in that timeline. It may not command a high price in the market due to its common mintage and worn condition, but its value lies in its historical context and its role in the broader story of American coinage. Coins in circulated condition can vary widely in appearance depending on how they were handled and stored. Some may have a uniform brown color due to natural oxidation of the copper, while others may retain a hint of the original red or red-brown luster. The coin described here as circulated may have a darker tone with noticeable surface wear but still retains its fundamental details and legibility. Collectors often use grading scales to evaluate such coins, and a circulated 1950 to penny might fall somewhere between fine and very fine depending on the level of wear. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark in circulated condition, is one of the classic examples of vintage American coinage that continues to draw interest from collectors and history lovers. As a part of the iconic Lincoln wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, this coin carries a significant piece of history. Its presence in the hands of millions of Americans during the early 1950s makes it a timeless item that represents an important period in the development of modern America. Even though the coin was originally worth only 1 cent today, there is increasing excitement surrounding the idea that some rare examples of this coin may be worth as much as $800,000. This sense of hidden value and discovery is part of what makes the 1951 penny a popular topic among collectors and people who enjoy fascinating coin stories. The year 1951 was a time when the United States was going through post-war growth. The country had recovered from World War II and the economy was booming. Families were settling into suburban life, new inventions were changing the way people lived, and confidence in the American dream was growing. Every penny minted during this time played a role in the daily lives of working people. A penny had real value back then, allowing people to buy small items or contribute to savings. The Lincoln wheat penny was a familiar sight in pockets, wallets, cash registers, and coin jars. It was part of the fabric of American life during a period of hope and growth. This is what makes the 1951 penny such a meaningful collector's item. The design of the Lincoln penny has remained remarkably consistent over time. The obverse side features the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln created by artist Victor David Brenner. This portrait was the first time an actual historical figure appeared on an American coin, and it marked a major shift in coin design. Instead of using symbolic imagery, this coin connected directly to the legacy of one of the nation's most important presidents. On the reverse side to stalks of wheat framed the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat design was a symbol of prosperity and abundance, perfectly suited for the era in which it was used. The 1951 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, unlike other mints such as Denver and San Francisco, which used small letters to identify their coins. The Philadelphia Mint did not place a mint mark on 1-cent coins. This means that any 1951 penny without a mint mark was made in Philadelphia. These coins were minted in large quantities, which makes them fairly common in general terms. However, collectors know that within large mintages there can be exceptions. Certain pennies may have been struck using different dies or contain small errors or variations that make them incredibly rare. These are the coins that can surprise people by being worth much more than expected. The idea that a coin from 1951 might be worth $800,000 is part of what makes this coin so appealing. The mystery and possibility surrounding rare coins is what drives people to check their change, search through old collections, and learn more about coin history. While most 1951 pennies in circulated condition are worth only a few cents to a few dollars, there are always stories of rare finds. These include double die errors, off-center strikes, or coins made from unusual metal compositions. When one of these rare errors occurs and the coin survives in good enough condition, its value can skyrocket. In some cases, these coins become prized by collectors and sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Many people enjoy watching videos about rare and valuable coins because they are entertaining, educational, and often surprising. It is exciting to think that something so small and common could turn out to be incredibly valuable. These stories often feature ordinary people finding rare coins in pocket change or forgotten boxes. That sense of possibility inspires others to take a closer look at their own coins. A simple penny might not look like much on the surface, but it could be hiding a fascinating history and a rare feature that makes it special. The 1951 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of this. It combines beauty, history, and mystery in a way that captures the imagination. Even in circulated condition, a 1951 penny tells a story. The wear on the coin is not a flaw, but a record of its journey through time. It passed through countless hands, was used in everyday transactions, and may have even traveled across the country. Its surface may show signs of age, but it still carries the distinct portrait of Lincoln and the wheat stalks that make it instantly recognizable. For collectors, this type of coin is a reminder of America's past and the role that coins played in daily life. For new collectors, it can be the start of an exciting hobby that blends art history and treasure hunting. The appeal of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series has only grown over time. These coins are widely collected in the United States and around the world. Some collectors focus on completing a full set with one coin from every year and mint location. Others search for rare errors or high-grade examples that have survived. In unusually good condition, the 1951 penny remains a key part of this story. Whether it is because of its connection to American history, its classic design, or the chance that it might be a hidden treasure, this coin continues to attract attention and interest. Next up, we have the 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a historical and collectible coin that captures a moment in the early 20th century United States. As part of the Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909, the 1937 penny reflects the enduring popularity of this design and the values associated with its imagery. The absence of a mint mark on this coin indicates that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the primary and oldest facility in the United States mint system. Coins minted in Philadelphia during this time typically did not carry a mint mark, which is standard for many Lincoln cents from the early to mid-20th century. This particular coin is described as being in good condition, which means it still retains the main design details, although there may be visible wear from circulation. The obverse of the 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The profile of Lincoln faces to the right with the inscription "In God We Trust" arching along the top of the coin above his head. To the left of the portrait is the word liberty, and to the right is the year 1937. The overall design of the obverse has a simple elegance and continues to represent Lincoln's legacy of leadership, unity, and the pursuit of freedom and justice. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this image of Lincoln was the first time a U.S. coin featured a real historical person rather than a symbolic or allegorical figure, which was a notable departure from earlier numismatic tradition. The reverse side of the 1937 penny carries the classic wheat ears design, which gave the coin its nickname the Wheat Penny. Two stylized wheat stalks curve upward along the left and right edges of the coin, encasing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America in the center. Above these words is the national motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, which reflects the unity of the states into one nation. This reverse design was used on Lincoln cents from 1909 until 1958, and it holds a nostalgic and historic value for collectors who appreciate the symbolism and aesthetic of early American coinage. The year 1937 was a time of slow recovery from the Great Depression, which had deeply impacted the American economy throughout the 1930s. Coin production during this period was adjusted based on economic needs and demand for small denomination coinage. The Philadelphia Mint produced a substantial number of Lincoln cents in 1937, totaling over 309 million coins, which makes this issue relatively common compared to other years. Despite the high mintage, the age of the coin and its design significance still make it desirable among coin collectors, especially for those working to complete a full set of Lincoln Wheat Pennies. A 1937 Lincoln penny in good condition shows noticeable wear, but the major details remain clear. The outline of Lincoln's portrait should be visible, although finer features like hair lines and facial detail may be worn down. On the reverse, the wheat stalks may show some flattening, and the inscriptions may not be as sharp as on uncirculated examples, but they are still legible. Collectors use a grading scale to determine the condition of a coin, and good condition generally means it has seen significant use but remains identifiable and complete in form. Collectors often value such coins not only for their potential market worth, but also for the story they tell. This coin may have passed through the hands of Americans during a time of economic recovery or during the lead-up to World War II. It may have been used in daily purchases such as bread, newspapers, or other essentials, making it a small but tangible piece of everyday life in 1937. In this sense, the coin serves as a physical connection to a bygone era, allowing modern collectors to hold history in their hands. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series is among the most collected coin series in American numismatics due to its long-run historical significance and relative affordability. Coins like the 1937 issue offer an excellent opportunity for new collectors to begin their journey without the need for high investment, while still appreciating a coin that has aged with grace. Enthusiasts who specialize in wheat pennies often seek to collect one from each year and mint mark, which adds to the appeal of a no-mint mark coin from Philadelphia. The 1937 Lincoln penny is also representative of American craftsmanship and minting standards of the time. Struck primarily in a bronze composition, the coin is made mostly of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. This composition gives the coin its characteristic reddish-brown hue, although exposure to circulation, handling, and environment can affect its color over time. Many older coins develop a rich patina that varies depending on how they were stored and used over the decades. For those interested in numismatics, the study and collection of coins, a 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny offers a starting point into a much broader historical narrative. It provides insight into the economic conditions, the artistic choices made by designers, and the ways in which coins traveled through society. While it may not be considered rare in the traditional sense, its age design. Next up we have the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark in circulated condition, continues to capture the attention and admiration of coin collectors and enthusiasts around the world. As a piece of American numismatic history, this coin holds not just monetary value, but also significant emotional and historical importance. The coin, minted during a period of global turmoil, reflects the strength and determination of the United States as it faced the challenges of World War II, despite being a common issue. During its time, the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark, has become increasingly interesting to collectors because of its background, its historical setting, and in some exceptional cases, its unexpected high market value, which can reach up to $300,000 depending on rare traits and preservation. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The 1940 to Lincoln Wheat Penny bears no mint mark, which is typical of coins produced at this facility during that time. It features the classic design that debuted in 1909 with the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the front side. This portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. It has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The reverse of the coin displays two stalks of wheat surrounding the denomination and the name of the country. This design symbolizes abundance and unity and became a lasting icon of American coinage. In circulated condition, the coin often shows signs of use, such as minor scratches, dulling of the luster, or smoothing of the details, but it still retains its historical charm. The historical context in which this coin was produced adds another layer of significance. In 1940, the world was at war and the United States had recently entered World War II following the attack on Pearl Harbor in December of 1941. Materials were being rationed for military use and the nation had to adjust its economy and production to support the war effort. While the copper used in pennies was still relatively available in 1942, it would be replaced with zinc-coated steel for a short time in 1943. Therefore, the 1940 to copper penny represents the final chapter before the significant shift in materials, which makes it an important milestone in the timeline of American coin production. This connection to wartime history elevates its desirability among collectors. Though the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins during that year, not every 1940 to penny is created equal. Some coins display unique characteristics, such as die errors, double strikes, or off-center minting that make them much more valuable than standard issues. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rare anomalies because they can turn an otherwise common coin into one that is extremely valuable. In some cases, a 1940 to Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark and in circulated condition may possess one of these errors, which could cause its value to skyrocket to an estimated $300,000 or more. Stories of such valuable finds continue to inspire new collectors and create a sense of adventure around coin collecting. Beyond the possibility of financial value, the 1940 to penny is also cherished for its role in American history. It represents the everyday lives of citizens who used this coin during a time of uncertainty and global conflict. Soldiers, their families, and civilians alike would have exchanged these coins for basic goods and services. Owning a 1940 to penny means holding a piece of that experience and remembering a time when unity and sacrifice defined the American spirit. For those who appreciate the history behind their collections, the emotional weight carried by this small copper coin can be just as valuable as any price tag. Collectors today often seek out circulated coins for the stories they tell through their wear and patina. A circulated 1940 to Lincoln Wheat Penny may have passed through countless hands, each with its own unique story and journey. The smooth edges and faint outlines on some examples speak to decades of use and circulation. Yet even in this worn state, the coin continues to connect people across generations. Displayed in albums and collection cases, these pennies serve as reminders of the country's resilience and its deep roots in freedom and perseverance. Coin enthusiasts also enjoy watching content and videos that showcase old pennies with surprising values. The excitement builds as each coin is examined under magnification, revealing details that may not be visible to the naked eye. Viewers are often encouraged to check their own change jars and old collections to see if they too might own a valuable piece like the 1940 to no mint mark penny. These videos serve to entertain, educate, and inspire, and they draw in viewers with the possibility of discovering something rare and valuable. The idea that a coin as small and ordinary as a penny might be worth $300,000 is captivating and keeps people engaged in the hobby. Next up, we have the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a coin that holds both historical significance and collectible interest for those passionate about American numismatics. This coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its coins during this time period. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series itself began in 1909 and continued through 1958 with the wheat design on the reverse side. As part of that long-running series, the 1953 issue represents one of the many years that contributed to the penny's evolution and widespread use in everyday commerce across the United States. With the coin being in circulated condition, it shows signs of wear from being handled, used, and exchanged during countless transactions through the years, yet it still retains the original design elements that define the Lincoln Cent series. The obverse of the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. The portrait of Lincoln is framed by the inscription, "In God we trust," above his head the word liberty on the left side and the date, 1953, on the right. This design was created by Victor David Brenner, who became well known for this particular engraving. His initials can be seen at the bottom of Lincoln's shoulder on many examples of the coin. The design was meant to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic representation. This marked a turning point in American coin design, reflecting a shift toward honoring actual leaders and shaping public memory through currency. The reverse side of the 1953 Lincoln penny is equally iconic, featuring the denomination 1 cent prominently in the center with the inscription United States of America beneath it. Arched above these words is the motto E pluribus unum, which means out of many one. Flanking the text on either side are two stylized wheat ears, giving the coin its nickname the Wheat Penny. This design was in use from 1909 to 1958 and is cherished by collectors for its simplicity and historical resonance. The wheat symbolizes agricultural strength and productivity, one of the foundational themes in early American iconography and a reflection of the values of the time. In circulated condition, a 1953 Lincoln penny may show various levels of wear. The finer details of Lincoln's hair and facial features may be smoothed out from handling, and the lines on the wheat stalks on the reverse may not be as sharp as on uncirculated examples. Despite this, were the key design elements typically remain visible and legible, making the coin identifiable and still desirable to collectors, especially those assembling complete sets of wheat pennies. Circulated coins often carry more personal charm. They have passed through the hands of many individuals over the decades and may have been used in everyday transactions, such as buying a newspaper or candy in the 1950s. The year 1953 itself was a notable period in American history. Dwight D. Eisenhower began his first term as president that year, bringing a new tone to the post-World War political landscape. The country was navigating the early years of the Cold War, and American society was shifting toward economic growth, suburban expansion, and cultural change. Coins from this time offer a tangible link to that past, serving as silent witnesses to the events and everyday lives of people who lived during that era. Holding a 1953 Lincoln penny is like holding a small piece of that mid-century experience in one's hand, a reminder of simpler purchases and slower times. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1953 Philadelphia Lincoln Wheat Penny had a high mintage, with over 250 million coins produced. While this makes it a relatively common coin, it is still significant in the context of building a complete date and mint-mark collection. Collectors often see coins from every year and every mint involved in the Lincoln Wheat series, and the 1953 issue, an essential piece of that puzzle. Its availability in circulated condition makes it accessible to new collectors while still being appreciated by seasoned enthusiasts who value its historical role and design. The composition of the coin is primarily bronze, a blend of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This alloy was typical of most Lincoln pennies produced prior to the mid-1980s and gives the coin a rich red or brown tone depending on its age and how it has been stored or handled. Over time, exposure to air, moisture, and handling can darken or alter the surface of the coin, which is expected for circulated coins. Despite such changes, many of these coins have retained their appeal due to their durability and solid design elements. Next up we have the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny in circulated condition remains one of the most fascinating pieces in the history of American coinage. Struck at the Denver Mint during a time of rapid growth and change in the United States, this small coin has captured the imagination of collectors and history lovers for decades. It is part of the larger Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958 and includes some of the most iconic and beloved designs ever produced by the United States Mint. What sets this particular coin apart is the growing excitement among collectors and enthusiasts about the possibility that some rare versions of this penny may hold exceptional value reaching up to $900,000 or even more in private collections or auctions. The year 1958 marked the final year of production for the Lincoln Wheat Penny before the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial starting in 1959. This makes the 1958 penny especially significant as it represents the end of an era. The design by Victor David Brenner features a detailed portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse includes two wheat stalks framing the denomination. These elements together make up a design that is both simple and elegant, paying tribute to one of America's most respected leaders and symbolizing agricultural prosperity. Coins minted at the Denver facility carry the D Mint mark, which can be found just below the date. The Denver Mint was known for producing high volumes of coins, and the 1958 penny is no exception. Tens of millions were struck, but the passage of time combined with circulation, wear, and loss means that fewer examples survive today, especially in good condition. While the average circulated 1958 penny may not immediately seem valuable, it is the potential for rare variations, errors, or unique minting quirks that have collectors searching closely through their change and inherited coin jars. One reason the 1958 Lincoln penny has gained attention is because of the growing number of stories about hidden rarities. These may include double-dyed obverse coins, unusual metal compositions, planchet errors, or exceptionally well-preserved examples. Such rare coins have the ability to command astronomical prices at auction, and some have even been rumored or reported to reach values as high as $900,000. While this kind of value is certainly not typical for every coin with this date and mint market, underscores the excitement and passion in the world of coin collecting. The journey of a circulated penny is also part of its charm. A coin that was used for decades might have traveled across the country, passed through thousands of hands, and been part of everyday transactions, from grocery stores to gas stations. Each mark, scratch, or worn detail tells a story. These imperfections do not necessarily decrease a coin's appeal for collectors, especially when the coin carries historical value or belongs to a final year production run such as the 1958 Wheat Penny. Collectors often value coins not just for their beauty or condition, but for the stories and memories they represent. There is also an emotional and nostalgic connection many people feel toward Lincoln Wheat Pennies. For older generations, they represent childhood memories, saving change, and simpler times. For younger collectors, they are a gateway into the world of numismatics, offering a hands-on piece of history that is affordable to start with but filled with opportunities for discovery. When one of these coins is found to be rare or valuable, it becomes a symbol of treasure hunting and the belief that something extraordinary can be hiding in plain sight. Videos and stories about rare coins often attract viewers because they combine history, mystery, and the thrill of potentially finding a fortune in an unexpected place. The possibility that an ordinary-looking 1958 penny could actually be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars keeps collectors and casual hobbyists alike coming back to coin rolls, flea markets, estate sales, and old drawers. This sense of wonder and the hunt for rarity fuels a passionate community of collectors around the world. The process of determining a coin's value involves more than just the date and mint mark. Professional graders evaluate the strike, clarity, color, luster, and whether or not there are any errors or unique traits. A high-grade example with an unusual error can be worth an enormous sum even if other coins from the same year and mint are worth only a few cents. This unpredictability is part of what makes collecting so compelling. In this way, the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny becomes more than just a coin. It becomes a key that opens a door to history, knowledge, and discovery. The beauty of the Lincoln Wheat Penny lies in its combination of simplicity and depth. The familiar image of Lincoln, the timeless design of the wheat ears, and the connection to American agriculture and values make it a classic. For the 1958 penny, this is especially true. It is the last chapter in the story of the wheat reverse. From 1959 onward, pennies would feature the Lincoln Memorial, changing the tone and purpose of the coin's reverse imagery. That shift in design marks a transition not just in numismatics, but also in the culture and mood of the nation.